What's good, YouTube?
Hood is really light.
Giddy up!
If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like because it helps the channel to grow. On with the video. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I have for you a 2020 Honda Civic Sport. So this is a 2-liter manual transmission front wheel drive vehicle, and because it's the Sport, it's kind of got this cool exhaust down there, but it has a decent sized trunk. It's got a 14.7 inch trunk, and it's like 15.1 in the hatchback version, and it's 24.5 if you drop the seats down with the hatchback bit. This is the sedan version. The car does have these nice rims, so if you actually look at the spec of them, they're extremely nice. So they're 235s with a small 40-inch sidewall, 40 millimeter I mean, and they're on an 18-inch rim. And this particular one does not come with blind spot monitoring, so someone stuck those little blind spot mirrors on. Car gets excellent gas mileage though. It's only got 35,000 miles on it, but gas mileage on this in the manual is 36 on the highway and 25 in the city. So fairly good economical car. Actually love the look of it. If we take a look under the hood, like I said, it is a 2-liter non-turbo version. The car weighs about 2,800 pounds. It has a 158 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque engine. 0 to 60 is in about 8 seconds, and the quarter mile comes between 16.3 and 17.1, depending on which version of the car you are driving. Now, if you look at the front, I love the styling, I love the lights, I love how the grille is blacked out. I actually think it looks better at the front than it does with the Honda Accord with the chrome bumper. So it's quite nice, this one. Also has the fog lights down there, which I think look really good in this car. Now if you come to the back of the vehicle, take a look at me sitting in the back. Look, I've got plenty of space between my knees, and the driver's seat is actually in my driving position, so that is actually quite impressive. There's not really any connectivity in the back, and there's no mat pockets, and in the center there's no armrest in this particular model, but the seats feel like good quality, even though it's just kind of like the cloth seats, but it's hard plastic to touch. But they've got to cut costs somewhere, otherwise you'd be paying a lot more for these vehicles than what you want to. But the interior overall looks really nice. I'm kind of liking the styling, and Honda always does an awesome job with their steering wheels, no matter what version of the vehicles that you get. So if you move on to the front, you see you got the Civic nameplate. Somebody's put like their carbon fiber nameplate down. It looks alright. It's not my favorite. It looks a little bit cheap, if you want me to be completely honest. But look at these pedals. Because it's the Sport, you get the aluminium pedals. You've got the digital gauges on this particular one, but the steering wheel feels awesome to the touch. Got to admit it does feel good. The gauges are really clear, and you've got a couple of modes. You know, you've got the eco mode, you've got normal, you've got sport, and an electronic parking brake, and it's really easy to drive this manual. It's nice and notchy. It's not as notchy as if you're in the Civic Si, but the throws are fairly crisp, and it's easy to get everything in the gear that you want it. You don't really miss gears. And the clutch is very, very, very easy to modulate. So really like the interior. There is hard plastic in some spaces, and there's a good spot to put your phone, which will obviously, be helpful so your phone don't go flying about. Got these cup holders, and you've got plenty of space in the glove compartment to put lots of stuff, and in the center console area. And the seats are very comfortable in the front. Considering they're just the basic cloth seats, I actually think that they're very comfortable for the price that you're paying for this particular vehicle. The radio, on the other hand, is quite basic. I mean, it does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay when you plug it in, but it's not the best sounding. It doesn't have the best bass to it. Now, the windows do automatic down and automatic up at the front, which is really useful. I love it when windows do that. I can't stand when Chevy windows will automatic down but not automatic up. Their mirrors are automatic as well. And on the higher trims of this car, you can get like blind spot monitoring and all of that kind of stuff. So it is decently equipped. The backup camera is nice, but it is a little bit grainy. And on this particular model, there's no trajectory lines, which is kind of annoying. So there's a very nice looking dials for the AC, and because this is one of the lower trims, it does not have dual climate control like some of the other ones. But anyway, since we're setting out in this 2020 Honda Civic Sport, I will say that it is really easy to drive. The clutch is fantastic. The gear shifter actually feels really good, and the car drives quite smooth because I'd already been driving it for 10-15 minutes before I even started this video. So but yeah, everything about it is fairly nice. I mean, I have to admit, I didn't really want to like the Honda Civic because it's just so typical of a economy car, but it actually handles well. It's got decent power. Remember, this is not the turbo 1.5 engine. This is the naturally aspirated 2-liter engine, so it doesn't have as much giddy up and go as what the turbocharged one does, but it still feels fairly adequate and light and nimble. It's very nimble on its feet. So now the reason why you might want to get the manual over getting the auto is because the auto is a CVT transmission, and I know for some people having a CVT is a huge no-no. I've heard that the CVTs on these cars are fairly decent, but for me, for the most part, every time I've driven a CVT, I've really disliked it. I haven't liked it at all. So I hate to admit it, guys, but this is actually a really good car, and for a small economical car that's fun to drive, that has a manual transmission, I 100% would consider getting this. I was thinking about like a Hyundai Elantra or even some of the Kias, but if you hadn't read the news recently, the Kias and the Hyundais have had a huge issue with the cars being stolen. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Lawson score up on the screen now. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the video, and I will see you in the next one.